Welcome to In Real Time, the sassy, no-filter podcast where we catch founders mid-pivot, mid-meltdown, and mid-magic. No polished stories, just raw, in-the-moment conversation about what it really takes to build something that matters. This is business, uncut, unpredictable, and happening in real time. If you already love the podcast, I would love to ask you to give us a follow, share this episode, and leave us a review, as it helps me to continue bringing incredible guests and episodes straight to you. Now let's get into it. Layla, welcome to In Real Time.
Thank you for having me.
It's so exciting.
I'm so excited to be here.
I know, and I can't believe we're both Gold Coast girls.
I know. What are the chances? Gold Coast girls come together. I love it.
Truly. I feel like when I'm like looking or like trying to get people to come on the podcast, everyone's always Sydney or Melbourne.
Yes.
And I'm like, guys, where are my Gold Coast queens?
Or they're like really recent Gold Coast people.
Yes.
Like, I've just moved here. And it's like, no, we're Gold Coast girls.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's so funny. Obviously, we were connected by Jessie, who owns Hive.
Yes.
But we ran into each other at a Mimco event last week and we were like, oh, yeah,
literally, I was like, I've been emailing to go on this podcast. And we're just like having this chat. And then you're like, oh my God, wait, you're Layla. And then it all just came together.
And
that
I
was
knew
so
your brand.
cool.
It's so funny, social media. Like, I knew your brand before I knew you, because obviously
Yes.
I'd seen all your virality recently. And then you put all the things together. You're like,
Oh, literally. But then sometimes you might not even visually recognize that person. So at the Mimco event, we're just chatting.
Yeah.
I know your brand. I know your podcast. But then I hadn't put two and two together. Like, it was you. Crazy.
It's so
I
funny.
love that.
So Layla is the founder of Dr. Diamond. You're more or less changed, like how I see it is you're changing the way we care for our jewelry.
100%.
In an innovative and a easy accessible
100%.
way.
Exactly. Okay, great. Did you write the tagline?
No, but I was like, whenever I try to like describe someone's brand, I try to do it like a little bit like how I see it as a consumer.
100%.
Instead of like just their tagline, because then I'm like, well, how is your consumer seeing it?
Exactly right. And I think that I feel like jewelry care is a very untapped industry.
It is.
And it's also a very untapped, like, a routine of ours,
100%.
but we're all wearing jewelry, but we clean our windows and our skirting boards more than we're cleaning our jewelry, but we wear it 24/7 and it's a representation of us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how are we not putting two together and like cleaning it and taking care of it? So elevated jewelry care is what I'm going for. But I really want it to be accessible.
Yes.
I don't want it to feel like a luxury that's like, you can't have it. And that's why I'm like, I want it to be an accessible price point, an accessible product. Everyone should have clean jewelry,
Absolutely.
but make it feel like a beautiful item as well, like a beauty item.
For sure. It's making like the everyday mundane like sexy.
Yes, 100%. That's what I want. It's similar to, Touchland, how they've like made the hand sanitizers just so cool. And it's like, I want that. It's like, I want someone to like want to have a Dr. Diamond pen and I want someone to be really proud to gift it, which is something that's been happening now as well.
I love that so much.
That's the vision for the brand.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hopefully.
I have so many questions.
Let's do it.
We start every episode the same, and that is, what are you moving through in business in real time at the moment?
Great question. I think trying to fathom momentum is something that I'm really trying to like wrap my head around and not wanting to see slide. So we launched the business 11 months ago, and luckily we kind of had a few momentous like moments that happened within a 1 to 2 month phase of each other. So the first thing happens, and then by the time it dies down, our next moment had happened, and then our next moment happened. Yeah. So that was like really phenomenal. But now it's almost made me a little bit like nervous and just being like, well, how do I keep that happening? Because I can't even script half the moments that have happened. So I think for me, it's like just moving through what, like, do I just, keep trusting in the business to have that momentum, but then I have to be in control of that as well. So I think momentum's a really interesting one at the moment. I'm trying to wrap my head around.
That's such a hard one too, because I do think that sometimes we consistently chase it.
Yes.
And I think the difference of that is right now with my brand, we're in a period where I'm like, do not chase that momentum for 5 minutes, bitch. Like, give yourself a minute.
Yes.
But you do. You become, it's like a dopamine response. You're like, okay, what's the next thing? And then how are we doing that? And then the things that do come, you can't plan anyway.
No.
So you scramble your brain and get yourself so stressed. And then things happen. You're like, oh, well, I
couldn't have even scripted that. We had that where I was like, all right, what's the next thing? But then we were mentioned on a podcast and it had gone viral, us just being the recommendation as a product.
Yes.
And I'm like, I couldn't have even asked for that. I didn't know that was going to happen. And then that was a new thing of momentum. So I think just staying relevant in a world where there's so many brands and so much noise.
Yes.
I'm like, I really want us to stay relevant. And there's so much that I like feel and want to communicate. And how do I get that across and make other people feel it? So that's probably my most recent honest one at the moment.
It's incredible. And I think I want to go back to like the start, I guess. I guess when I see people building something like a product of what you're building, right? it's an innovative product. It isn't like jewelry. It's not fashion. It's not like you're just the girly that loves this. Like, you obviously love jewelry. Yes. You have beautiful jewels on.
Thank you.
How, why, when, what? Yeah. Like, I want to know, like, the thought process behind that, and then how, like, where did that start? And then how did you get to the pen, and the pen to the product? Like, what was the stepping stone?
100%. So I think it started probably with, like, I don't know, when I was like 10 years old, I started a window cleaning business. So I've always loved business. I've always found it so interesting. I grew up watching my grandparents and my parents run a cafe in Robina Town Centre, and they had like a department store in Blackall, Central West Queensland. So I've grown up around a big business family. So I've always had that kind of mindset. But I really loved working in like smaller businesses as well. So I worked at a digital marketing agency for a while, and then I worked at High Smile, and I had like all these different bits of experience, which is great. Loved the business space. And I'm really big on, though, not just creating a business because I'm like, oh, this could make you money or whatever. Like, I always knew I'll have a business one day, but the right thing will come at the right time.
Agree.
And that's honestly exactly what happened. So Matt had proposed, very exciting. It was a week or 2 weeks before my bridal shower, and I took my ring in to get cleaned. And because it was the only way you can do is take it into your jeweler. And it took 2 weeks, and I didn't get it back in time for my bridal shower, and I was devastated. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, how do I not have it back? It's 2 weeks, whatever. So then we called them, and I was like, and they're like, yeah, you're not going to get it back. I was like, right, if I weren't to have brought it into you, how else could I have cleaned it? And they were like maybe like dish soap and a toothbrush. I was like, this is a $25,000 ring and I'm using dish soap and a toothbrush. I was like, there has to be a product for this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there might be something on Amazon. Like, and I was like, wow, we've just like found, I was like, here we go. This is a product. This is a whole industry that's actually untapped. And 100. I can't think of a brand. Like, you can think of a brand for tissues. We got Kleenex, but we can't think of a brand for jewelry cleaning. So then that was the moment where we were like, okay, like I was like, there's such a gap here. Then I was doing some research and there was nothing, and anything that was like slightly out there, it wasn't beautiful, and it didn't make you want to buy it. It didn't make me proud to put it with my beauty products. It didn't make me want to gift it to anyone. It was just like, it wasn't the experience you want to have with this expensive jewelry. So yeah, that's how it started.
That's incredible. I think they're the little, it's like the micro moments. This is why I believe, like, I believe in the universe. Like, everyone has their beliefs in whatever higher power.
Yeah.
I just so fucking believe that those micro moments of life, like in that tiny moment, the universe or God or whoever gave you that.
Yeah.
But you still have to take that, and you still have to action it.
Oh my gosh, you are speaking my language.
Yeah,
I talk about this all the time.
I just think, I don't know, I think about it all the time, and I think like, how, what, why, like, what do they do that for in that moment? Crazy.
I think, though, it's a two-person job. I think you have to be in tune with your higher power, whether it's like the universe, God, whatever. Yeah. You have to be in tune, because when they give you a message, that's then for you to then run with it or not. I think that's a difference. So many people say to me like, oh my God, you're lucky, you're lucky. I'm like, no, I'm in tune. There's a very big difference. I'm sure so many other people have fed a very similar moment or opportunity, but it's what you've done to listen to it and your gut being like, no, we need to take this further, or like there's something in this. And I think,
completely agree.
And I love that. And I honestly feel like it's a bit of a superpower, and everyone jokes that I'm like, really
woo-woo. What star sign are you?
I'm a Leo.
See, I'm a Cancer Leo.
Oh.
I'm like on the day of like both of them.
Really? Wait, what day?
22nd.
Okay, fun.
What are you?
10th of August.
Okay.
I know. Were you getting Leo vibes? Or?
Oh, I actually hadn't sussed it. I mean, Leo, because of how beautiful you present. Like, Leos present, they're very beautiful. Like,
really?
They're very well dressed. Like, yeah.
I wear the same thing every day.
Outgoing. She's like, yeah, it's my normal.
Yeah, that's just huge.
But I just believe it so much. Like, when I first started Kaarme, I remember just being like, I'm just going to make this jewelry brand. And everyone was like, that's a bit rogue. But I always came back. To the gut feeling. Even when I was like, I'm going to close it down, it's not working. I was like, but there's just like something. But you still have to action on that
You have to action it. Yeah. That's the thing. I'm like, it's not luck, because it didn't just like all these moments after didn't just happen. No. It's not like I came up with this concept and then someone else executed it. It's like spending the money and the time and the hours and the energy, like outputting it. But it's like just knowing it's that right little feeling. Yeah. I actually had a really similar moment. So my husband is really aware that like I have the strongest gut intuition. Like, it's not funny. I will meet someone, I'll be in a situation, I'll be like, no, we have to walk into this store. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I get these things all the time. And it's our Dr. Diamond 1 year coming up next month. And we kept going backwards and forwards on having an event. And he was like, we have to have an event. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense in every world. An event doesn't feel right for me, and I don't know why. And we went backwards and forwards. Turns out this event hasn't like gone to plan and worked out how we wanted to, and I've ended up pivoting back to what my initial gut feeling was. Yeah. And, you know, I say wife is always right. What have I told you? Never question my gut. And I couldn't tell you why. It just didn't feel right.
And you have to follow it.
You have to always. I'm so passionate about that.
I completely, same.
I feel so lucky to have it.
And I think, you know what, you're actually like not saying that you're lucky, but so good that you've harnessed that early.
Yes.
Because I do think, like, I look back on a few things when I was like younger in my founder journey and I would flip flop a little bit, whereas now I'm just like, yes, no, no, yes.
Yeah.
And like you can still go off it a little bit. It doesn't work out, whatever. But at the beginning, I think if you have that, you're solid. Like, you're so solid for growth.
Agreed. And you just have to trust it. And then also it's about trusting that, like, okay, if I followed that path and it didn't take me where it wanted to, it's because it's leading into another one 100%. And it's redirecting. Like, I genuinely never believe in, like, I always say this, you don't like win or lose, you win or you learn. And it's just like a new opportunity that's come.
Yeah.
And anything that goes wrong, I'm like, oh, thank God, because something better is about to happen. Like, I just think if you can live like that and you wholeheartedly believe that, nothing really goes that bad.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm getting better at that. At the beginning, I'd be like, this thing hasn't worked out and fuck. And now I'm like, it's all good, babe. Something better is coming.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to talk about the pen itself.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure you're the same. I get so many messages constantly about like product development, going over to China or going to, you know, like my stuff's made in India, a lot of my jewelry. And I'm like,
beautiful. Jewelry capital of the world over there. God, I love their pieces.
Compares.
Nothing compares.
Love that. So when you've come home from the jewelers, you're like, there has to be a product. What were your first thoughts? Did you think like, how is it going to be? And to give you some context of why I'm thinking this, I was watching, I love listening to like a lot of people talk about business. And I guess at the moment, the biggest thing for people at the moment is convenience.
Yes.
Every product we see coming out is a convenience product, right? And I saw Katie and Miko talking about this, like a little gummy.
The gummies. Oh my gosh, I watched her video.
With the same person.
She's
and about like, if it's not convenient, it probably won't grow that fast. 100%. And I think like if you look at your product, convenience is probably like the number one thing it has, right? Like obviously it works, great, but it's the convenience of just, your ring's dirty. Or like, your girlfriend's there at dinner and her ring's dirty, you clean her ring. Like it's the convenience. Was that something that you planned for? Did you just fall into that?
100%. I think convenience, like, and I'm a very low maintenance person. So I will wear the same outfit all the time. I have the same like 5 makeup items. Like for me, I am the most low maintenance. I will have like literally a handful of products that I will use for like 10 years. Like that's just me to a T. So I think I wanted a product that like emulates that. I don't want there to be these 5-step processes. Bring out the big ultrasonic, put the liquid in, do this, do that. Guys, come on. Like there's so much convenience for everything, but like not for jewelry cleaning. Also like your diamonds is so like when people like have their engagement ring, it's such an exciting thing. You go to an event, you want to give it a little spruce. Like it's all those things that make you feel really beautiful.
Absolutely.
But I wanted it to be an accessible thing for people. So convenience was really big for us. And I wanted it to be like handbag size, put it in your little clutch. It's funny at restaurants, we get so many videos of like girls all at a restaurant cleaning each other's rings or like at the hairdresser, and it's just like pull it out, have that cute girly moment. So convenience was really big, but then also just having like a really good product. So we worked with Matt, my husband, is the most phenomenal like brain and just human you've ever met. I love him, obviously.
Go King.
Shout out King. We love him.
Yes.
And we just looked at, okay, what are the ingredients? Like what are the chemicals that are like what's good for jewelry, what's not good for jewelry, what can harm it over time. I want something that you can use every single day. I want that person who's so like OCD that always wants it to be perfect. They can use it, not have to worry. But then what about the auntie who has never been able to take her rings off since having kids? So she has it still on. Okay, it has to be sensitive for skin. So all those things. And we spoke to some of our friends who are jewelers. We said, what would you guys recommend? We want it to be all natural ingredients, just kind of put together everything that I would have wanted in a product. I didn't listen to any outside noise. I was like, what would I want? What would my auntie want? What would my tata, my grandma want to use? What would my girlfriends want? And then that's how we formulated it. So convenience, good ingredients, and just a good product.
How many samples did you go through? Or did you nail it first time?
I think there was like nearly 70 that we had gone through, but they're all like very small, different variations. The viscosity was the biggest thing for me. So you can have it where it's like almost a bit more watery. But when you twist
it's messy.
It just doesn't look as like right now it comes out as like a perfect little bubble on the brush, and it's like those little things. And then it's like, right, in like how many seconds into like brushing it does it start foaming up so that you know that it's like really cleaning? So all those little things were huge, but all of them with this product, it's not like every single variation is like a really big R&D moment. It's like, right, change of viscosity here, a bit more of this ingredient, a bit more of that. So
I feel like because to be able to, I think people do underestimate, like product is everything.
Yeah.
I think you can have the most shiny brand, you can have the marketing, you can have all the things. Like, no, it doesn't really matter. If you don't have a product that works, and no one's going to buy it, and you're not going to continue to grow.
100%.
And I do think that is like, I think when people start, they get so stuck on like the look, the feel, the content, the this, all very important, but just focus on your product.
Yes.
And I think being able to grow to the size you've been able to grow to and have the virality in the moments that you've had, you still have to have the product.
A good product. Well, at the end of the day, right, I can't show up to Fashion Week and do a live clean on these like well-known people that's getting videoed and put straight to TikTok if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The product, like they're not going to be reacting if it doesn't work. So I think what's really cool is that I know the product works and I'm so proud to like just go out and do it on anyone's ring or anyone's jewelry and know that there will be like a really good reaction.
Yes.
So I think like, that's the first thing. And then that's when your like repeat customers come in. That's when the reviews come in. It all comes down to having a good product. 100. I know people say like packaging first, this first, like confidence, whatever. It's always for me. Like the product has to be perfect. You know, we have a few different products we're going to be bringing out. Obviously, we want to have like a whole jewelry care range, but we're so just nitpicky on like it has to be the best. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, it's cool packaging, but it doesn't work that well, or it's a cool brand, but this brand's better. I want it to be like, no, there's actually no better product,
the only one.
and it's a sick brand. That's our goal.
I love that, and I think that is just such a good. If you start there, you can never go wrong.
No, agreed.
Ever.
Have you found that like that
100.
there's that you feel like your product, and because it is so beautiful and so phenomenal, and the quality, like that's what keeps people coming back?
I reckon my products are a smidge different because obviously I taught myself in a garage. So obviously I look back at the start and I think like, oh my Lord. But the difference is we've got the most amazing customer service. So we'll fix anything. Like we like go above and beyond customer service. Our product we have now obviously is phenomenal.
Yes.
Like I reckon like, and I've been trying to talk about it more, like even our manufactured pieces, we've actually never had a return, never had a...
I love that.
Like we've never... I reckon we've had one earring break out of all of them we've sold, but it's hard to convey that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our beaded stuff, like we just have the best customer service around it. So even if there is an issue, we fix it on the spot.
Yes.
But I think for me, it was just like, I want to present something that I want it to be a legacy brand.
Yes.
You want it to be around forever. I want to be really proud of what we are doing.
100%.
And that's taken like iterations of our jewelry, but nowhere along the line have we been like, oh, well, that's it. Like that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
No.
I think trust comes first, right?
Trust
like
comes
you've
first.
built trust within your like customers
100.
that they know they're going to get quality. They know their piece aren't going to break. And that's how you become a legacy brand, because then people keep coming back and they recommend it in generations and everything.
100%.
Like, I love that. That's
and
so
it's just
admirable.
like you're never going to fully please everyone. Like that is one thing. Like, you know, people will buy Dr. Diamond and be like, I didn't use it.
Yes.
Like you're never going to please everyone. And I think for me at the beginning, I care, and I still do care so much, but I have got to a place where I'm like, sometimes it's just not for everyone.
100%.
And that's so fine.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone has different opinions. We find this.
Of course.
So our price point for our pen is $39.
Yeah.
And it lasts you like 150 uses, and it's great. We love it. And everyone goes, oh my God, it's so cheap. I didn't expect it to be that cheap. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And then we got we always get 5-star reviews. Our first 4-star review the other day. Perfect product, amazing, works so well, but a bit expensive for 2 mils. And I was like, oh my God, this is so funny because like I usually hear like the flip side, and then you hear someone else, and it's like you actually can't ever win.
We get the most rogue reviews. We like normally always get really good reviews, and every now and again we'll get a review that's like just like something so random. And I'm like, did you email? We would have sorted that.
Yeah,
and they're like, no.
And I'm like,
oh babe, just
like,
send us an email. We'll get it fixed for you.
Human over here.
Some people are different. And I think for me, I used to chase. I'd be like, okay, well we got to do this. And now I'm just like, it's just all good.
Yes.
Like it's so fine.
And also everyone will have their own problems and like in their own like opinions and thoughts. And I'm like, I can't fix everyone.
You can't fix everyone.
I know how I show up and I know how I will respond, and that's the only thing I can control.
Absolutely.
And that just keeps me peace. I'm like, as long as I'm responding to this well, then each their own. It made me laugh though, because she was like, this is the best product ever. I'm like, well, surely you want to pay for it.
But then babe, give it 5 stars and then tell me. Some people just don't. And like I think I've just come to terms. I'm like, everyone's brain works differently.
So different.
Like I function one way, someone functions another way, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
It's all good.
100%. I'm like, you do you. I can only control me. That's fine.
100. I want to talk about growth and like, the conversation around momentum, I think it is one of, I think it's got duality to it.
Yeah.
Because we love momentum. We love like the moments, and I want to get into everything that you've experienced. But there is hard sides of it as well. Like, you know, the grappling for the next one, and then that kind of like deep stomach anxiety of like, when's that coming in? Are we still growing? And then what's that going to look like? And I remember that, like, I mean, I'm still there in a way, but I remember that so deeply with the first like few moments.
Yeah.
So run me through your first like 2 big moments. I'm sure everyone would have seen on TikTok those 2 moments, but run me through it. I want to chat about them.
There's actually probably been 3. One that most people don't know about, because actually the first 5 months of Dr. Diamond, I was full incognito. No one knew I owned the brand.
Yep.
So I know a lot of people say like founder-led, lead with that, do a big launch strategy. I had nothing. I was very incognito because of my job at the time. So that was a really interesting thing. But I had a moment in that cognito period that I couldn't even really speak about. But it was, Dr. Diamond was mentioned as a recommendation on the Life Uncut podcast with Brittany Hockley and Laura. And it was really cool. It was like a whole I think it was like 3 minutes of them being like, this is our recommendation. They're loving it, whatever. I had then messaged Britt to be like, oh, thank you so much. I was actually on a walk. I walked past you. I showed you listening to your podcast, and I manifested on that walk. One day you'd recommend us, and the next week you did. Like, that was really surreal. She loves manifesting, so she does a 5-minute spiel the next week about manifesting and about Dr. Diamond. So then it just was like boom, boom, and that was like that really took the business off. I had my whole family packing orders, and it was like a lot of eyes on the brand, and then their cult following kind of came over. They're like, we love manifesting as well, so do you. And then that was a whole moment. So I had never really got to speak about it much because I was just like behind closed doors. But that was really exciting.
Can I ask if you voice noted her? Or did you just message her?
Because I voice note everyone.
Yeah.
That's a new thing. So I just had messaged her.
Okay,
and it was a very like, I think I did like 10 different versions.
Yeah.
You're so nervous.
You're so nervous.
You're so young. And I was like, it's my first business moment. And I didn't have that confidence.
Yeah,
now, oh my God, I'd voice note anyone.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Julie, hey girl.
Hey girl. She's like, I'm not answering. Like, no. Next one.
So that was our first moment. Then our obviously biggest moment that just changed our business overnight was the meeting Hailey Bieber interaction. Such a small moment interaction that just went so far, afterwards. So we just met her and then we weren't allowed to take videos or photos or anything. So when she had left, I just recorded my reaction to it. Matt and I I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then just put on TikTok, 7 million views later, business changed overnight. So that was our next biggest moment. And that also then got eyes on the brand. It was like, oh, you're the, the product that we saw the Hailey Bieber video. And then that kind of became like what people knew us as. And then from that, they looked, people would look into the business.
Of course.
What a lot of people ask me, which I've never really spoken about, is like, did those views convert to sales? It did. I quit my job the next week. I went full-time in Dr. Diamond the next week, which was incredible. So silly, because you might think it might not work, but the momentum actually never stopped in sales from then, which is really cool. So that was our second big moment. And then our third big moment is just Fashion Week. So I was like, we don't have this big budget. We don't have anything crazy. I'm just going to fly down to Sydney and just put myself in front of all these people and just do live cleaning, because it's a product that has instant results. So I can get reactions.
It's amazing.
It's like, it's easy. It's a very reactable product. Yeah. And then did that. So there were our 3 moments that just really kept us like in the eyes and those touch points. And it's now either the girl that does Caitlin was messaging me being like, she had asked on her Instagram story, what marketing or brands are you loving at the moment? And a few people said Dr. Diamond, and they were saying that girl who goes and cleans celebrities' rings. That's how they had, thought of it and named it. I didn't think of it that way. Now I'm like, right, this might be a new little avenue for us. Yeah. What other positions can we get ourselves in to go clean people's rings? So they were our moments that have really created the momentum. I feel so lucky and blessed, obviously that they've happened. Yeah. But it's also, once again, it's trusting your gut, and it's what you do after. I could have just met Hailey, given it to her and called it a day. Yeah. But it's like, right, how do you want after? I also, sorry, I didn't cut you off. I always do that. I love it.
I'm like, let me talk. Sorry. I remember the actual video, and it's funny because I remember, because you had flash, you're in that restaurant, you looked beautiful with your husband, but I actually don't remember putting two and two together. So it's it just shows like people can remember an actual video, like seeing it scrolling, and then it's the compounding effects of what's happened after.
Yes.
And how you've continued to show up. Then I was like, oh, she owns that. Oh, that's a girl from Haley.
Yes.
And then you put all the things together as a consumer, and then you're like,
oh, that's who. And then you get the full complete story. And that's why it's important to
Yes.
continue showing up after that one moment,
100.
because you need the multiple touch points.
need
Like
it.
that
Yeah.
one video, it actually really incredibly converted. But
That's amazing.
you know, a lot of people, it wouldn't have converted for them. Like they wouldn't have purchased off the back of it, but then it would have been maybe 3 more videos they would have seen, and then they would have like put them all together and call it a day.
And it's also like, I do think it's your price. It's what it is. Like it's a product, not to say it's easy to convert on, but it's like for $40 you try that, or for $300 you try a necklace.
Yeah.
I'm trying to afford it. I'm trying a pen.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like
definitely.
You really do have that perfect product market fit.
Yeah.
And then added on with virality. Like people are going to convert on things like that because it's an affordable entry.
Exactly. And it's not an emotional purchase either.
No.
It's more just like, I really hope this works. It's a tool. And then on that though, it's not an emotional purchase, but it's a purchase for an emotional item.
It is.
And I found that really interesting, because I get a lot of people like leave reviews or like send us an email being like, this is my grandma's ring and I haven't cleaned it for 60 years. Like it was her ring for 60 years, have never cleaned it before. I feel more in touch with her than ever. And these whole heart-filled moments, and you're like, wow, like that's really beautiful. So.
And I think that would so align with you with your family and how family orientated you are. So I think it all comes together.
It does.
I think what I always say to people is it's always the micro moments, and we've spoken about that already, but it's the micro moments of even having the guts to go up to Hailey Bieber. It's the micro moments of going to Fashion Week and doing live cleanings is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think people are like, oh, no, it's fucking scary.
No, it is. Just going up to someone and they're I'm a loser. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. And then I wanted to wear this really big blue jacket, so I would be memorable in content. I was like, yep. But then you get there and I'm like, I look silly. What am I doing? And you doubt yourself. But then it's you just have to do that one thing. I also think it's important who you're with. So I've got this beautiful girl, Amy, who comes with me and she films my content when I'm in Sydney. She hypes me up like there's no tomorrow. This girl's phenomenal. She's like, go girl, you got this. And then she's confident as well. So it's if I was by myself, I'd just get so in my head. But it's who you're around in that time is so big. And 100%. All my family, my sister, she's my biggest woohoo, go girl.
Go girl. Yeah. You need it though.
You need it.
Because if you if you have a second of hesitance, you're like, oh no, I just leave it. And you'll never fucking forget it. You're like,
you're like, oh, that's it. Every decision I make in life, everything, if I'm ever doubting myself, I go, you're always going to be more likely to regret something or not regret it, right? There's always actually going to be an answer that your gut feeling tells you. So I go, okay, am I going to ever regret going up to that person and asking if I can clean their ring, or I regret not doing it? I'll never regret doing it, because the answer was either going to be yes or no, but I'll regret not doing it because I won't know what the outcome would have been.
Agree.
So yeah, I love that little
It's so exciting. And I think what you've been able to achieve, even quitting your full-time job, building a brand, you know, being known, and I guess it's funny because the real work starts now, you know what I mean? It's like you said, you got more products in development, you have this new world. What is your plan on growing now, other than continued showing up? You'll have way more viral moments because you will. Is there how are you planning on growing? Are you doing any ads? Are we doing Google? What? Are you doing anything in the back end like that?
Yes. So we have digital ads running. Yes. We're with the most insane agency called Zavvy House. They're on the Gold Coast as well.
Okay.
So
Zavvy?
Zavvy House.
Zavvy.
Xavvy.
Xavvy.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I've never heard of them.
they're phenomenal. So I used to work with Ash in my previous jobs.
Yeah.
She has been with us since day one. Dr. Diamond would not be what it is today without her and her team either. So
this is such an interesting conversation because I'm no agencies, scarred.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a different opinion.
Okay, so I'm no agencies as well in every realm, but I know Ash. So I don't look at her as an agency. I look at her as a person who I trust. Yeah. And then and I know her. So then I trust what she does within the agency. Yeah. But I also am very big on freelancers and contractors and individual people rather than going for agencies. So I have the same opinion on that. But she's a whole different kettle of fish.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, everyone check her out.
Yeah, definitely. And that has changed our business definitely. I think with the kind of product it is it is something like, you know, you get hit with a cool ad, of course you're going to like be intrigued, and is that accessible price point. So that's been phenomenal for us. And then growth. So Matt and I are actually going away overseas for 6 months, which is a really exciting but scary thing to do, especially with where this business is. And like when we had planned this, we didn't expect to be in the position we're in today. We didn't expect to be the business to be the beast that it is today in its own little way. So to pack up and leave all of that, as in like leave the Gold Coast and leave our current momentum and, you know, working, it feels really scary, but then I always believe if it's not scary, it's not big enough, right? So I'm like, right, how can we maximize being overseas? Now, our plan was just to travel and enjoy life before we have kids. He has a very demanding job, so we just wanted to do that. And now it's like, okay, how do we make this a moment where Dr. Diamond sees the world and the world is 100. Exposed to Dr. Diamond? Now, culture is such a big part of my life. I come from a big Lebanese family, seeing how people connect and like what, you know, is meaningful to different cultures. So we're going to like South America, Europe, all these different places. I want to tap into those generations and those like the grandparents in those spots, tap into the jewelry they have over there, and really like tap into the cleaning aspect and all of that stuff. So now this is becoming a big growth for the business, hopefully 6 months ahead. My mum is my first employee, which is very exciting. So she will be running the warehouse, packing all of the orders. So she's on the ground doing that. I couldn't do anything without her, which is phenomenal. But yeah, just continue the momentum. The goal is I want to be the jewelry cleaner in every jeweler. I want it to be accessible in all the cool stores. We have just signed on with some really exciting opportunities in the US as well, which will be teasing soon. So yeah, just an accessible jewelry product and a household name is where we're going to.
That is so where we're going. We'll see you in 6 months.
We're going to,
I feel like it's funny because like not a lot of brands when you talk about that, you can be like super confident, but I just feel like with what you're doing, it's so doable.
Yeah, I feel that as well.
So
and you know, a bit delulu, but I'm like, but I'm always like, why wouldn't it be me? Like, why can't I do it? Someone else would do it. Like, why couldn't I be that person to do it? So yeah, and I really believe that. I have a lot of confidence, and I'm always just like, I can do anything.
Absolutely.
It's so toxic that I'm just like,
no.
I'm the kind of
Sometimes
person.
I'm like, I could build a house. Get me a hammer. I do it better than this Tom, Dick and Harry. Literally, my friends are like, shut up.
I always say, and it's my thing, I'm like, I believe I could do anything. If you ask me right now to run a marathon, I could do it. I haven't run 5 kilometers in my life, but I could run a marathon. And I'm just like, so blinded by
it's delusional confidence.
Delulu, and I love it. It gets me everywhere.
But it's the only way that you can do it.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You know, like building a brand from the ground up is something that I feel like, and this is something I say at the moment, I'm going through this stage of like probably a growth as like a founder and a leader. I'm like, you just don't understand if you haven't done it.
Yes. 100%.
And it's not to be like, you don't get it. It's not to be nasty. It's just, you actually don't.
No, you don't.
Until you've been awake all night worrying about numbers and this, and is that going to work? And are your staff good? And then how's that going to work? And then what are you doing next? And especially the growth era. Like, I still do. I lay in bed and think, okay, what's going to be the next thing? And then how are we going to do that? And then what if we did this? Would this work? And then if I went and did this, it is a constant.
Yes.
Constant.
Always happening in your head. I feel the exact same. Even with like products, I'll have like a really cool idea of something I want to do. And then I'm like, but is that just cool right now? How, like, what's the longevity in that? Like, you know, and there's just you're always ticking, and it's that midnight thought, and you like bounce up and you're like, I need to action this right now. Or it's, you know, I love getting massages, and it's like my massages went from like la-di-da to now like full business like, strategy plan in my massage. Like,
there's no silence.
No silence.
Nothing.
No. But do you know what? I don't know if I'd trade it in the world for anything.
No.
I'm like, how lucky. I'm addicted.
It's an illness.
How lucky to have something that I care so deeply about 100%. That consumes my mind and not like negative thoughts, or not just like thinking about other people or thinking about like, this is exactly what I'd want it to be consumed by, you know?
So I just laugh at myself because I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, literally.
Bitch.
Literally.
I'm like, go to bed.
Again.
Honestly. I want to ask about trademarking.
Yes.
And I guess, what are you doing to protect your product?
Such a good question.
Yes.
So we have got a trademark lawyer.
Yes.
It is expensive.
It is so much. We literally just got our name trademarked, and we're working on like a bit of jewelry stuff, but Well,
what the hell? Like,
I know.
What do you mean I'm paying this much just so that I can have my own name?
I know.
Like, what?
It's wild.
It's
and then you got to renew it.
Renew it. Oh my gosh. And then all the different countries and people can rip you off.
Yeah.
A whole nother thing. So I didn't really know that was much of a thing.
Neither.
And I was always like, oh, yeah, we'll just trademark, you know, like,
Next minute,
like,
the lawyer's like, you actually can't. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, which, you know, what is it? Not clauses, but they're like, you know, the different brackets you sit in and stuff. And I'm like, what is that? I'm just a girl. But
literally.
Yeah, so we have trademarked now.
Okay,
We've submitted all of our trademarks.
Yeah.
And then obviously it takes a while for them to be approved and go through.
Of course.
So I mean, hopefully that all works. I think for me, I'm very aware though that so we're trademarking our name.
Yes,
with the product. Anyone can come in and do anything, right? So I'm actually not too concerned about that because I know what's going to happen.
Yes.
It's more for me really protecting the brand and protecting what we're building and how our product makes people feel.
Yes.
More than like I'll do all the correct legal work, but I'm like, you can replicate any product. You can literally dupe anything in the world, but you can't dupe how a brand makes you feel, and you can't 100%. Dupe how you treat your customers, and you can't dupe that experience people get. So I think that's what I put a lot of my energy into, because only I can do that, and I think that's a really comforting feeling. I'm like, no one can copy that. We have like such a quick response time with our customers as well, and it's amazing. Like, how do they feel? And if like their order might be even be a bit late, like refund them because I'm like, oh my god, that's not the experience I wanted you to have. Like, so many little moments like that. So
they're the micro moments that build brand.
Yeah, 100%.
And I agree. And I think, you know, there's everything. I mean, Kaarme's had it's like kills me. Like, you know, it really does kill me, people and their morals. But I also think it is true. Someone can come after you, but they'll always be chasing you.
Yes.
They'll never be ahead of the game, and they'll never be able to achieve what you've been able to achieve because they're not you.
They're not you. Exactly right. And people can try. Like, you know, we have had we've seen some brands popping up, obviously, more recently. And everyone sends them to me, like, have you seen this? Have you seen that?
You're
and I'm like,
don't send them to me.
Yeah, literally. But I'm always like, it's going to happen. I've prepared myself for that. And I'm like, they can't be the Dr. Diamond brand, though. No. And that's all I can protect.
No, they can't. And I think also, like, I guess because you're a marketing background, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So were you like when you came to because the brands are recognizable. Chrome, it's sexy. It's very like if you pulled it out of a bag, even in the box, you know who it is. Yeah,
I love that. I'm glad that's the vibe.
It is. It's very sexy. It's very you. One thing I will say, like it's like when I was looking at I was having a bit of a deep dive and I thought, oh, it's very Layla. Yeah. Which I love, and I think a lot of people would look at Kaarme and be like, it's very Millie.
Yes,
like,
agreed.
Rainbow clothing, and I've always got, you know.
Yes.
It's like a brand human connection.
Agreed.
Did you spearhead that? Did you always know you wanted it to be like really sleek, sexy?
Yeah. Everything.
Was that your thing?
Everything that I do is what things that like I would want to see or things that I would like. So, you know, it was very much going to like the shops, walking around like Mecca or, you know, even like Coles, Woolies, Chemist Warehouse. And I look at all the branding and I'm like, okay, what caught my eye? So I wanted it to be like something that catch people's eye. Shiny object syndrome is like a massive thing. So anyone sees the shine and it's like they look at it straight away.
100%.
So I knew I wanted that. I wanted it to be very minimal, I didn't want to like, and I know everyone does it, but I didn't want to like end up like hating, like, why did I do this cursive thing or this or that? So I wanted it to be like bold, but then like really like elegant at the same time. And that's something that I'm constantly trying to like, you know, figure out is how can you be bold and elegant and this and that. And I finally actually figured it out last week. I was sitting there being like, how do I explain the Dr. Diamond brand? And it's actually my grandma Tata. She is every juxtaposition that you could imagine and it's perfect. So she's the most chaotic but put together person. Yeah. She's the most like, she's so elegant, but she wears everything from like Kmart and Big W. And it's like, but she looks iconic. It's like all these things. And I actually really want Dr. Diamond to be that. It's like, it's so sleek, but it's like, can also feel a bit like messy, like the new content we're going to be doing. So everything was just something that I believed in, something that I love the look of, and something that I would think that other people would like want to bring out and like have in their handbag and make them feel beautiful as well. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like you've definitely nailed it.
I'm glad. But then I wanted the human element of like the handwriting and like, you know, the script font and that kind of thing as well. So it's like romantic but bold, you know?
And I can see you doing like, you know, this is just my marketing brain. I'm like, oh, like Christmas colours. Christmas pen. It's a pink, it's a pink pen. And
literally.
Like, you know, you have like, because it's so simple, your actual branding.
You
have
can
so
build
much
on
room
it.
to innovate
you
on it.
can build on it so much. Packaging in those little moments as well.
Like fun little collabs. Like if you did a collab with like a US brand and like their colours.
Yes.
And so many things. I was like, oh, whereas like we have that with Kaarme, but we are like we're a colourful brand. So it's more somebody would be coming in and like using our colours, which 100%. I was like, oh, she has so much room to do like fun stuff.
Yeah. Like we've got a solid base and then you can just like build on it. Like for different campaigns, Mother's Day, Christmas, it's like you just like do different like fonts or this or that and you can build on it well. So
it's such an exciting thing.
I know. It's very cool.
Oh, let's chat about your few pieces of like advice you would give to a founder starting now. Because I feel like you're so in it. It's coming up to a year of doing it.
Yeah.
What would you say has been your 2 hardest experiences? And if you could give yourself any advice a year ago, what would you say?
That's such a good question. I think the hardest things is like obviously comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
And I really like believe that wholeheartedly. Yes, and it's just like really trusting what you're doing and not letting like where other people are at or how they're going, but also it might look like one thing and it's really different. And I think
let me tell you.
Yeah. Now being in the space, it's like you speak to so many people and I'm like, wow, like you might have looked at people being like, you've had one, impression and it's so different to that. And I think that since learning that I'm a lot happier and I'm a lot more proud of myself because I'm like, oh my God, like they're running their race, like we're running ours. And like, I think that's a really important thing to remember. And I just think your gut, I know we spoke about it before, but like, you know, your intuition knows, like your gut knows. 100%. No one's going to tell you more opinions, more problems. Like no one is going to tell you these things.
That is like, that's my thing. More opinions, more problems. Yeah. And especially if like recently we've been like playing around with different colors and stuff at Kaarme and I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah. And you're like
nobody wants that.
No one wants that.
It's not even your brand. 100%. But you do it because you listen. Like you have to. But it's like more problems.
Exactly. And I think that's just like so true. And it's so true. Like because everyone's going to have their own opinion, but it's not their brand. No. So I now have this like new metric and it's so just not measurable. Yeah. But it's like I'll be writing a message to someone and I don't get the feeling. I don't get that little gut feeling. Yeah. And then I get that, oh, that's the right one. Yeah. And it's like my gut like ticks off on it. So I just don't make really any decisions until my gut goes, yep, that's the one.
That's the right thing.
And I keep kind of like variation, which might be maybe setting me back a little bit, but I'm really big on that because then if it flops or anything happens, I go, well, I wholeheartedly believed in that decision and my gut and I made that decision together.
And I do believe sometimes your gut will get you to do things that you need to learn from as well. Like I do think that not everything's going to have a positive outcome. So I think some people are like, well, I really felt it in my gut. I'm like, yeah, because you had to be in that position to learn that thing because the next thing you learn in 6 months' time is going to be even harder. And then you've had that like I do think 100%. Sometimes you've got to lean in as well, even if you're like on the fence a little bit. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to do it, but I'm not sold.
Yeah. Yes. But you have to like take risks. It's like fuck around and find out, right? Like
100%.
I think that all the time. Like we had a big shipping thing where, I don't know, we had paid something wrong or no, we hadn't paid for like one of the duties and taxes things until it had landed. And then it was like $2,500 worth. But if we ticked this one box earlier, we wouldn't have had to pay that. It was something ridiculous like that. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And Matt was like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. And I was like, no, because this could have been a lot worse later. Like
this could have been the end of the world when it's 15, 20 grand
exactly
order.
Right. Yeah, I was like, no, it's okay right now. So it's like learning all of those things. And I'm like, just trusting in our guts, 100. Knowing that we know, and it's no one else's business but ours. It's like, 100. It's literally we're building this brand, we're building this business. Everyone's going to have their own opinions. And it's just like surrounding yourself with the people who know you best. Like, you know, you end up catching wind of like little comments people say or things. And it can just be the worst. Honestly. But then if you're just surrounded by like, your just family or your friends, people who know you best, you're like, that's all that matters.
I agree. So, I could not agree more. Well, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what you do with it.
Oh, thank you.
I really feel like this little trip you're doing and like the exposure it's going to get is going to be so great. Yeah, I just thought you're going to have so many more viral moments and you're just going to grow.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, what's next for you? What are you feeling?
What's next for me? Honestly, at this point, I'm heading to a mental asylum. No, I'm kidding.
Where can I go?
That's how I feel. No, I think what's next for me, I think I just went away for a few months and that was just really showed me how much like Kaarme's just a beast now. Like we got 10 staff. There's so much happening. Wow. There's just... It's so big that I just want structure in it. Yeah. I want some more like senior structure to be able to, for it to run like an actual, like I still like answer everything and do everything, which is so fine, but you get to a point where it takes from your creativity.
Yes.
I love the US. Like I love New York. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I just love it.
It's
and
amazing.
I really feel like I want to do a stint there.
Yeah.
2 factors is I'm a workaholic, so I would miss work. The other factor is I have a dog.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I think I'm in this era of life trying to just let it unfold.
Yeah. Would you move over there to like expand the business over there? Like, would that be the vibe?
That would be the vibe.
Yeah.
I think just be in the energy as well.
Yeah.
I think I love what we're building here. Like I love it so much, but I do think like I think if you're hungry and you can, like I don't have kids yet, I'm single, and like there'll be a stage of life where I can't do that.
Yes, 100%.
You know, so I think this year is all about like building blocks, getting things in place, trademarking, all the very boring things, the costly things, and I think really building a brand that's like we just hired a marketing manager.
Okay, yeah,
which that is like a terrifying but exciting and just I think like at the end of the day I'm not a marketer. I used to be a nurse. So
Did you?
Yeah, I used to be an emergency nurse for like under a decade.
No way.
No idea. I've just been throwing shit at a wall and like, oh, that worked, that didn't work, this worked, and it's at a point now where like that no longer works. Yeah. And then I've got staff under me who do content who are like, what are we doing? I'm like, ooh, I'm not sure. So like they deserve direction as well, and they deserve to learn. Like I've some of my staff are just fucking like young, hungry women that I'm like, if you just had the right like woman that knew what the fuck she was doing, 100%. It would be phenomenal. So yeah, that's my first big girl hire, which I'm excited for. Yeah,
that's for, and also like I think collaboration is 100. Just so powerful. Like I've been recently trying to like sit down and plan out new like campaigns and stuff, and it's just me at the coffee shop on my laptop, and I'm like, I need someone to bounce this off. And then like I've got these amazing new people that I've been bringing in as like contractors, and you sit with them, and then it's like I just got 20 times further just having someone else like bounce 100%. Off. But you have to have obviously the right people, but like you'll feel a new love for the business as well. Just being like seeing it through someone else's lens, and I think when it's the right people,
and just see what they can do. Like you know, I'm just like you come in because one of her questions, she's like, "What do you think the day will look like?" I'm like, "You tell me, babe." Because I'll follow your lead one day. Because I'll be your minion. Yeah. So that's exciting. But I think this year is just like building blocks, foundational. Bring new product out. Like I feel like I've had a bit of a creative slump, which is so not like me either. Which I hate having a creative slump. I'm like that's hard. Bored. Yes, but you need it. And I was speaking to one of my girlfriends, Marissa, recently, who you met at the Mimco event.
Yes, she's a beautiful.
She was like, "This is the period of business," which she's like, everyone gets to. It's like a not a plateau because we still we just continue to grow, but a pause where you can like gather all your eggs, gather all your nests, like come back, recalibrate, reorganize for your next growth. Yes. And she was like, if you don't do that, you hinder your next growth. And I think I just needed to hear that because I was
100%.
Like you, I'm always like, what's the next thing? And then what are we doing next? So if we do this, and then what if we do this? Yeah. And I think like having a moment to be like, okay, what foundationally is working, what isn't working? Yes. How can we
It's almost like you're refueling, and it's like you can't just keep like running because then also you'll make like not as like maybe calculated or great decisions or something because you're just like hitting that fatigue point. But if you're refueling, rehydrating, and then it's like, okay, then I can go even further than I was before. But when you're in it, it's so hard to think of it like that. You're like, oh my God, I'm failing and I've lost this. And then I don't know about you, but I go to absolutes. I'm not like, I'm the most like black and white person. I'm so dramatic. Oh my gosh. So
I need like my girlfriends would say like, shut up, you're so dramatic. I'm like, I need a sash.
Yeah.
So dramatic.
So dramatic. No, that is me. So extra in everything.
Same.
So I'm never just like, oh, it's all right. It's a hard day. I'm like, I am shutting the business.
It's over.
Everything's failing.
I have like a bad revenue day. I'm like, it's done. It's done. We've hit it. We've hit the point. And I've got a girlfriend, Simone, who's so level. We're so different. She's so level-headed. She's like, I just really think you need to have a breather because you're like irritating me. And I'm like, it's over.
You're like, your positivity is so toxic right now. Just let me sit in it.
But you just need it. And I think, I think that's kind of where I am. And I think next year, hopefully, with all of that, like I might do a few like 2-month stints over in New York and just kind of
test the waters.
I could never live there. Like 12 months of the year, I definitely 100% couldn't.
Yeah. Why?
I just find it too fucking much.
Yeah.
Concrete jungle. I'm like, where's the sand?
Yeah. You know? Fair.
And I wouldn't say I'm a huge partier. And that is a part of like your life, you know. But I love like meeting people and integrating and everything. But I reckon I could do like 3-month blocks, like 3 months at the start of the year, like 3 months, like, mid-year, and then kind of see how I go.
Yeah. I also think when it's only like a short period of time, you get less in your head. When it's like a whole year, it's like, I need to adapt and I'm moving here. And but if it's like just 3 months, it's like,
like,
I've just got 3 months to enjoy it. And then it feels a lot less like serious and like deep.
And I would miss the warehouse.
Yeah.
I love going to work. Like I've never been a work from home girly. Like I love nothing more than like getting dressed up, go into the office, spend time with the girls. Like, and I do think like if you're not amongst what you're building, you're the energy. You're like the builder.
You set the tone 100%.
You know,
I couldn't
so
agree
it's
more.
like it's a fine line between both, but that's the long skewed answer of what I'm doing next.
I love that, and I'm here for
and just
all of
afloat,
it.
babe.
I
got
love
my floaties on,
you got it,
and I'm like
I'm
fucking
going.
let's go.
But do you know what's so funny? It's like you just have to have this period to get to the next one, and it's like this is is probably the most important part because it's just like slow down for a second, like reassess, and then go even further.
It's building blocks, and if you don't
100%.
do it, I really do think then you have your next period of growth and it's just sticky.
Yeah.
It's hard. And we've had that before where, you get 1,000 orders and you're like, well, who is beating that?
Yeah.
Because you haven't prepared.
Yes,
so it's like,
true.
it's like do the work before you need to get there.
100%.
And you never know. And that's the thing. Like you could be friggin' 3 months into your trip and your mum be like, brother, we need 10 more staff and a bigger space and where's this, like you've got no idea.
Well, we're also the numpties that are hand filling all our pens. So we're like you with like everything is so,
We're back here in a year and she's like lasted 2 months.
Yeah, literally didn't happen. But so I know that exact feeling. And I do think about that with my mum. She's like, she'll take on anything, but I'm like, you're one person queen and
she's
this
like,
business is growing. Yeah, literally. It's so cute.
It's so exciting though.
Yes.
It's such an exciting time.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's
phenomenal.
really cool. And I think it's like, a lot of people in this world want to, start a business and they want it to do well. And I think it's something that like I don't take for granted and just like being really proud, like both of us. And it's like, this is such a cool thing that we're doing. And
so
like
proud of us.
The little version of us would be like, oh my God, go girl.
I love, but I think that's what I'm just not nonchalant at all. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
That's what I always say. I'm like, everyone's like, how is it? Is it stressful? I'm like, yes, but I'm exactly where I'm meant to be.
Yeah,
like,
but I
this
love
is the
it.
best. And I'm like, mid meltdown. Like, this is the best life
I
could have ever asked for. Like, it's just so relatable.
Literally me. Oh my God, we'll come back here a year.
Yes.
And we'll see where we're at.
Let's see.
We'll reconvene. Where do we find you on socials?
On socials?
Yes.
Okay, we're on Instagram and TikTok as Dr. Diamond.
Yeah.
With 2 N's, Dr. Diamond, because we
Diamond.
couldn't get the Dr.
way.
Diamond. It's this random lady who's got like 2 followers. And I'm trying to get the
always
account.
A random lady. Someone stole KaarmeJewels.com and are trying to hold a ransom. I'm like, well, don't worry about it. I've already got an idea for the end of the year, so I don't want your shitty little
you're
ransom.
like, I don't want that anyway. That's so funny. But that's that. And then my personal one is Layla Georgia. So LAYLA_Georgia.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I've had the best time.
Same,
Can we
babe.
keep
We
this
could talk
going?
forever. Honestly, some of these
it.
end up being like an hour and a half, and I'm like, Millie,
Yeah.
stop talking. People have got things to do.
No, this is the best ever.
Gosh,
Thank you for having me. I've
Bye,
had the best time.
guys.
Bye.